Welcome to Game of Roses. I'm Chad Colchin. I'm going to be going over, I've been going over all these little videos that the Traitors are putting out of the people who get murdered and banished. Today, I'm going over the episode 5 spoilers and banishments. So if you don't want to know who got kicked out, don't watch this video. But it's Bob H. and Wes. So here we go. Let's take a look. I love that they're doing these videos. They're all about 10 minutes a piece, and it really does give some insight into sometimes strategies about the people who got kicked out and murdered, you know, why they think they might have messed up or what they could have done differently. And it's always great to see when the traitors are revealed to them and they have no idea. I'm very curious to see what Wes thinks about Carolyn. Here we go. Wes was a great player. I've only ever seen him in this game, by the way. I know he comes from the challenge, and now I want to go back and watch some of his seasons because I just really like everything he did in Traitors, other than the end, when he had kind of like this cocky attitude, and at the round table when he told people, I'm going to come for you if you vote for me. That was obviously a huge error. Here we go. Let's check this out.
Are you all kidding me?
I'm here because of jealousy and fear and insecurity.
You don't know how hard this game is until you are in Alan's castle.
I agree with that.
I am a huge fan of Traitors. My highs are
Same.
Everything Alan related. Seeing Alan coming, the icon that he is, I was like, this is what I signed up for. The only low would be, it's a personal low. Being a heart attack survivor, I just couldn't do the things that I used to do, and I got very emotional, and that was very tough for me. But as we get older, you got to pivot. I can't be the person that I was in my 20s, 30s, or 40s, you know, and I'm good with that.
I am the
As somebody who has had an ACL replacement and gone through some other medical maladies, I 100% can identify with everything Bob H is saying right there.
debatably the greatest player on the Traitors of all time. Now, granted, I did not do very well, but you all know that I know, that you know, that I know that I'm the best. My reputation precedes me. I am a traitor at heart, and that's why I got voted out. They made the right move, because I was not going to end that game with anybody but myself.
I think that I was such a loyal
That's hilarious.
faithful. Everyone was looking to me to kind of calm the room and just kind of bring in evidence. People were thinking, oh, well, we got to get Bob out of this house because he is so trusted. That's where I messed up.
I just lost at the round table, but I look back at like that final discussion, and I could not have done any better. Few people.
I think he's 100% wrong here. And I know that he's playing a little bit of a character here, like the egomaniac is a little bit of his shtick. That said, at the round table, you can't threaten anyone ever. Because even if you're not a traitor, the faithful are like, well, we can't have this guy in the game. He's threatening all of us. He's like, whatever that phrase was, what's worse than a traitor is a bad faithful. Beyond a bad faithful, he's a traitorous faithful. He's a malicious faithful. He's going to attack the other faithfuls. I mean, he said this, his own words. If you vote for me, I will come for you. Even if you're a faithful, that's not somebody that the other faithful can work with. I think he made a massive error at that round table. And I think whatever his analysis of his own gameplay is here in these final moments, I think is completely incorrect.
Really surprised me. The biggest one being Dylan. Dylan said multiple times that I'm like his brother, and obviously, like, if you know anything about him, you know that I would be his best looking brother. And so he voted.
So some of this is, again, his bit. Like, obviously, he's now comparing himself to Zac Efron and saying he's better looking than Zac Efron, who is, you know, whatever. We all have our own personal tastes and things of this nature. But I think Zac Efron is pretty objectively, widely regarded as a very good looking man.
That I was a traitor, it's kind of like, that hurts. I'm here because of jealousy and fear and insecurity. I mean, I think that I look the
He's saying all that with a smile. It's a little bit of a wink and a nod. I don't think he's really that guy.
part. I sound the part. I mean, I'm a cocky douchebag with a glorious red ginger beard.
I have learned from hindsight.
So he's very self-aware of the character he's playing. That's what that told me right there. That said, that character doesn't do well in Traitors. The cockiness, the self-assuredness, you can't have that in Traitors. You have to, especially if you're a faithful, you have to convey an element of confusion and desire to find out who the traitors are, but you just don't know. And he basically was like, Rob is a traitor. I know all of this. If you go against me, I'm going to come for you. I just think this game, Traitors, it can take people out of something like the Challenge or Survivor or Big Brother. And you see how like just pure gamesmanship, like getting little victories along the way, that can save you in games like the Challenge or Traitors or Survivor, or Big Brother. If you just make it to the next voting out ceremony, basically the next elimination ceremony, you can string together a whole season like that and come out with a victory in the end. You cannot do that in Traitors. It's the psychosocial dynamic part of the game that I think a lot of the game players don't quite understand. And I think we're seeing it with Rob right now, Boston Rob. I don't think he's going to be lasting through many more rounds because he's so involved in just like the gamesmanship of it. And he's great at the round table. He can deflect. He can take an attack and turn it right back around on the person who attacked him. We watched that happen with the West basically. But I just don't think playing like a straight game for game's sake in Traitors will get you to the end. You have to be able to do that interpersonal psychosocial dynamic, get people to trust you, get people to like you and be your friend. That is a big part of Traitors too.
That you need to speak your mind. If you are feeling something, you've got to be confident enough to be unpopular. If I had it to do differently at the round table, I absolutely would not have voted Nikki. I would have voted Rob. Rob came across so confident about Bob the drag queen. I was thinking, oh my God, he knows that Bob is a traitor because he's a traitor and he turned on another traitor.
But even what he's saying there, that he wouldn't have voted Nikki and he would have voted Rob, that's a part of the faithful game that I think makes being a faithful the hardest. You can't outwardly ever vote for a traitor unless everybody at the round table is doing it too. I think the vote for Nikki that he cast was actually the proper vote. You want to be in the majority all the time. You never want to be hung out to dry, like voting for somebody by yourself or with just a couple other people. Because if you're right, if you vote Boston Rob, but everybody else votes Nikki Bella, you are now on this small island of people who knows who the traitor is, and that traitor is going to eliminate you. So I think what he did with the Nikki vote was actually the correct move, because you have to remember in this game, it's not just about getting the traitors out or not being discovered if you're a traitor. It's about getting to the very end. Especially if you're a faithful, that means you're going to have to eliminate many other faithful along the way. There is no scenario in which you see a season of this show playing out where the faithful eliminate all three traitors, bang, bang, bang. And that's the end of the show. Only lasted 3 episodes. That will never happen. The producers will always manufacture a way to get more traitors in if they need to. So you have to lay in the cut. You have to wait until it dwindles down, until most of the faithful are gone. That's when you actually launch your I'm going to seek out all the traitors attack. If you want to make it to the end, you have to do that.
I just think that Rob's a traitor. I think that he got caught outing a traitor. At the end of the day, like, Rob is good. I'm better.
When are you going to start giving me some information?
He's not better, though. He literally got beat by Rob at the round table.
Wait, hold on. Fast forward. And the traitors are your turn. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. Yes, I do want to know, but I don't want to know. I don't. Oh my God, this is so exciting.
This is real? You're not fucking with me. You're not going to say, like, this is real?
I don't even want to open it. I don't even think my heart can take this.
I love, like, the gamer doesn't even trust that the producers are telling the truth when they're going to reveal who the traitors are now that you've been kicked out. Nice faceplay.
Danielle.
You are kidding me.
Very impressive woman. She's playing really, really good. So good.
Oh my God, I'm such an idiot. I defended Danielle at roundtable going, I trust her. That bitch. She got me.
She voted for me at the end to stay. And for Rob to go. Ugh. This is mind-boggling right now.
Yes. He's doing the game math of it, that it's like, oh, the traitors are all turning on each other. He sees that. I disagree with what they're saying, though. I think Danielle's playing a very bad game. it's so overt when she, especially when they were doing the thing where they were throwing the little pots and the dust was coming out, and you could put your own face on the board to maybe get a shield, and she never did. She seems like completely uninterested in saving herself in any of these group challenges. That to me is like, you can't do that. You're a traitor. And her acting is like way over the top. I think she's going to get caught.
Carolyn.
Yes.
Fucking Carolyn. Are you all kidding me? Carolyn's like an evil genius.
Yes. I 100% agree with this. I think she's got, of all the traitors, she has the best chance, I think, to go end game, simply because her playstyle is so erratic. There's no way to draw a bead on it. And I think if you're, in the Traitors game, and you're a faithful, what you're looking at is any little sign that anyone can give you in something they say, in a behavior, potentially in how they perform in a challenge, any piece of little information that you can glean that will nudge you in a direction to be like, I feel like something's off there. Carolyn's entire play style is so erratic. There is no way to gauge a baseline. So you can't tell if she's altering her behavior, if she's feeling nervous, if she's feeling scared. You literally can't tell. And so once that decision is made in a player's mind, like, I have no idea what's going on here, I think they're very much less likely to rethink about her as a possibility, instead of looking to someone else who may be giving you what you perceive to be a tell. So I think her play style for this, it's like a complete smokescreen. Nobody knows what to make of her. And as a result, they turn their attention elsewhere almost immediately. And for that reason, I think she's going to last a very long time. Unless she gets taken down by Boston Rob or Danielle, one of the other traitors.
I mean, I wrote her off. I am the worst.
Exactly.
player.
Carolyn just went at Danielle hard. The question is, were they going at it, or was that controlled chaos? Like, was Carolyn going at Danielle to throw them off each other's scents? I can see her in that turret, making all the faces. Okay, so back up. When I was with Danielle a couple of days ago, she was like, don't tell anybody this, but I think Carolyn, this is real beef. There's real.
He's incredibly smart. He's seeing through all of it just by seeing the names on a piece of paper. I really wish that he would have been allowed to play in this game more. I hope he gets asked back at some point and adopts a completely different strategy.
Traitor beef. They are going to fight in the turret about all the things that happened at the round table.
Rob.
He can see it all. I mean, he's just like a very astute player in terms of the math of the psychosocial dynamic game. He's not good at playing it though. And he needs to figure that out for this game. I'm not saying his play style isn't good for the game he plays, the challenge. Obviously it is. But here in Traitors, it just does not work.
I knew it.
Rob, I've been vindicated at least a little bit.
Wow. My brain is just like, do you see smoke coming out of my ears?
That means I was this close to getting a lot of traction in that game. If Dylan had voted for me to stay instead of go, Rob would have stood on that circle. I would have looked like the most faithful guy in the entire game. I would have been the one to have taken him down, and the theory of one of the three cage boys would have been gone forever.
I mean, I thought that Carolyn and Danielle.
Again, he's correct there. The math is 100% right. Unfortunately, he just didn't play it properly. I think had he gone with a more subtle strategy at the round table, instead of threatening everybody who's voting against it, if he would have had some kind of coherent argument as to why we should go with Rob, and maybe it's even look, if Rob is not a traitor, vote me out next week. I'm good with that. I'll self-sacrifice. Sometimes you can see plays like that work, but it should have been something that was much less aggressive toward the other faithful. He might have had a shot to actually convince some people. But I think because he said, if you vote for me, I'm going to take you out. Well, fuck you, dude. Everybody's voting for you now.
I thought they were on my side. So I would immediately think that Rob was the one that said, I've got to get out. You don't know how hard this game is until you are in Alan's castle.
Dang, that is cool. That was exciting. I didn't see that coming. I really did think I was going to have to wait. Because I'm back in fan mode now, and I'm a huge fan of this game.
Please tell me you're going to tell me who got banished last night. I need to know.
The banished person is coming to see you.
Oh my God, y'all are gonna give me like another heart attack. Now I'm just like scared. Who's behind me? I don't trust anybody. What?
Hey, buddy.
How did that happen?
I guess we have a lot to talk about.
I really wanted it to be Rob walking in here.
I called out Rob, and I got into a big thing with him at the round table. I was this close to having the game by the fucking balls.
Right. You're super competitive.
Incredibly.
Did the other traders vote
So
Rob?
Danielle voted Rob. Carolyn voted Danielle.
Interesting.
And Danielle has been for days saying Carolyn. So it's like there is a lot of infighting.
But do you believe that Rob will be sitting here next?
Yeah.
Unless Rob is an absolute genius to turn that around.
Yeah.
Why do you think they murdered me?
Because you were the devil's advocate against Rob.
Yep.
We all praised him.
Yeah.
We all got down on our knees.
Yeah.
Because I was afraid of getting murdered.
Yeah.
And you didn't get down on your knees.
No, I ain't getting down on my knees for no Rob. You know I've been picking myself over.
Wow.
I trusted Danielle.
Okay, that's my question for you. Is she that good of an actress, or is she trembling out of fear of that's just how hard the job is?
She's not a good actress. I don't think. I think it's very over the top, her performance. I don't know if she has like real fear or not. I think she is kind of confused about what to do. She's never in control. And so I think her kind of compensation for that is to just overact everything. That's what it appears to be to me.
No, I think that she knows exactly what she's doing.
I don't think she does. I don't think she does, because now, I mean, we saw what happened in the end of the turret. If she knew what she was doing and executing those things properly, she wouldn't have Carolyn literally trying to vote her out at a round table. I mean, to me, that is one of the biggest pieces of evidence that Danielle's strategy is not working. All three of the traitors now are fighting each other, and one of them is directly trying to get her out of the game. That is not a good place to be if you're a traitor.
She fooled me.
Yeah.
And that pissed me off. When I found out that Carolyn was a traitor, I was in shock. I was like, this woman is a bag of nuts.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no way she's a traitor.
Yeah. She's
Jesus
the perfect one,
Christ.
though.
She's the perfect one.
Yeah.
I think that Carolyn has no sway, no pull, can't defend herself, and I think that Danielle is watching Rob shoot himself in the foot. Why does Danielle care? There were some things that we got wrong, but you being the devil's advocate and then getting murdered, me going so hard, we're gonna end this as insightful dead people, dead and banished.
I'm so
I
bummed
agree.
because I feel like the Faithfuls lost two really good people.
Yeah, yeah.
They really did, and the traitors love it.
Like, I at least got to confront
Yes.
my adversary.
Yes.
Yes. Your grieving process is going to be a little different and
Yeah.
disjointed. Mine started.
One thing that I found out about myself is, I'm not a liar. I'm not a good liar if I have to.
You would have, and you could have, and you know it. You could have done it, and you would have been good.
Well, coming from you, because I think you are one of the better game players, and that's why you're probably sitting here right now.
Yeah, I know that is. But yeah, that is a compliment on my behalf. Like, if
But I think in terms of like, there are many games that are happening within Traitors. There is just the face value game. That is, there are X amount of traitors, there are X amount of faithfuls. Who will win? Will the traitors murder all the faithfuls, or will the faithfuls get all the traitors? That's kind of the face value game. There is a secondary game of, can I make a big enough impact in this season to become kind of like a Traitors all-time great? I would say like Pilot Pete is that from last season. He didn't win, he didn't come close to winning, but he was very memorable because the whole game kind of turned on some decisions he made, later on in the game. Then the bigger kind of meta game is what is happening to the Traitors seasonally. And I think what's happening this season with Boston Rob doing what he's doing and Danielle being in there, a Big Brother player, and Carolyn a Survivor player, I think moving forward, the gamers, people who come from Survivor, The Challenge, Big Brother, I think they might just be all eliminated immediately, like as soon as possible at both the roundtable and if the Traitors are not, them, then they'll be murdered as well. Because you're watching what Boston Rob is doing, and he really is like manipulating everybody at the roundtable. And I think the gamers are just going to, again, in the grander kind of meta game, the seasonal game that's being played, like what are the ebbs and flows of how this game is played through time. I think you're going to start to see the gamers being maligned instantaneously and almost universally voted out and dismissed wholesale. I mean, that's what I would do if I was in the game. You just can't keep them around. They're too good at the math of shit,
I would have died to be in that turret with you. We wouldn't have needed any help.
That's right.
It's not too late. We're still in Scotland. If anyone wants to do
No, I am going home. You know what? And sing.
Wow. That was great. I absolutely love they do these little videos. Thank you for watching this one with me. I will be covering every episode of Traitors. You can watch along with me in our Patreon, patreon.com/Game of Roses, and I'll be covering all these on YouTube throughout the season. I'm absolutely loving this season, and I do think that some of the things that are happening are going to affect the game long term, at least over the next 3 to 4 seasons. At any rate, thank you again, and I'll be back with the next one next week.